We are now joined by Jon Alba and Jon Jastremski for more on the Yanks losing in Game 4 to the Blue Jays and the brutal offensive numbers for the Yanks. So, JJ, how much of a broken record was this Game 4 loss?
Eamon, I feel like we come on in the month of October and have these same conversations involving the Yankees and failures in the postseason again and again and again. And you can now add 2025 and the Toronto Blue Jays in this division series as yet another chapter. You got all you could have hoped for out of Cam Schlittler. He pitched into the 7th inning. An organization that preached run prevention the entire offseason got burned by Jazz Chisholm being unable to turn a 4-6-3 double play. And the Yankee offense, outside of Ryan McMahon hitting a home run, went quietly into the night. Chisholm in a big spot fails miserably. How about in the 8th inning? Austin Wells, I mean, you got Hoffman on the ropes. He just walks Ben Rice. The bases are loaded, and you can't wait to go and swing at a first pitch. It's a lousy approach. You compare that to the outstanding approach you got from the Toronto Blue Jays in big spots. Jon Alba, my apologies to Canada. They were the better team in the regular season, and they whooped the Yankees in a series.
They did quite the juxtaposition. How many times have we seen this game over the last 5 years, dating back to 2020? Poor fundamentals, poor defense, poor timely hitting, poor in-game managing, poor approaches to at-bats. The Austin Wells at-bat, clearly that in a nutshell. 18 two-strike hits for the Toronto Blue Jays in this series. That is the exact opposite of what the Yankees did. You can't win in October without contact hitting. This is something that Yankee fans have just become accustomed to. This is who the Yankees are. It is fundamentally in their DNA. It is an organizational philosophy. And for a team that's had so much success, the view never changes.
Way too many easy outs throughout the series, throughout that lineup. Grisham a non-factor, Volpe a non-factor. It goes on and on and on. And with that, we now say salutations and welcome in Sal Licata. Sal, the Yanks might have never made it to 2 runs anyway, but Sal, the Yanks were done in once again by shoddy defense in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Eamon, I do think it is the offense, though. Look, mistakes happen, and this was not the same postseason that we've seen in the past where they beat themselves with mistakes. Obviously, Jazz has to make that play. It's sloppy, tight game. You can't have that, and Jazz has his head up his rear end too many times. That's why he drives me nuts as a player. But the Yankees are built to hit, and they didn't hit, and that's the biggest problem to me. So it wasn't similar to last postseason or the team that people made fun of throughout the course of the regular season because they beat themselves. They actually played a relatively clean postseason up until tonight. You can't go inept with the bats the way that they did in a bullpen game. So Jazz is going to get a lot of flack here. Ultimately, to me, it falls on the offense.
Yeah, I think that was the problem, though. At 2-1, that error loomed huge. You might have well made it 10-1 because of the way, obviously, everyone knew they were not hitting. So, Sal, what was your feeling on Aaron Boone letting Anthony Volpe hit with a man on and 1 out in the 7th?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it, Eamon. I know people did. Against the lefty there, Volpe's got the chance to do some damage. I know he's been awful here, but he, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, everybody's going nuts about how Volpe has turned the corner, postseason Volpe. I had a bigger issue with letting Trent Grisham hit against the lefty there. You needed to get Judge up in that spot with guys on with a chance to do damage. Anything I could have done, whether it was Ben Rice even against the lefty, Caballero, and I know the Yankees would have been messed up in the outfield without Grisham. Grisham's been awful. I would make a bigger case to pinch hit for Grisham in that spot than I would Anthony Volpe.
So I had a major problem with Anthony Volpe hitting because in the course of this series, he's just been pathetic. As well as he may have played against the Boston Red Sox, how many non-competitive at-bats did Volpe have against Toronto, including this Game 4? The last time you see him hit, it's like enough. You have Rosario on the bench. You have Caballero on the bench. The time is now. Get me some righties up there against the lefty, and I didn't have confidence that Volpe was going to be able to come through. To me, there was too much of a bad body of work all season and a bad body of work in this particular series. I'd seen enough. But then again, Dominguez is hitting in the 9th inning, so make it make sense.
Yeah. 1 for 15 with 11 Ks in this series was Anthony Volpe. And I understand what Sal's saying about Trent, but the reality is Trent Grisham, over the course of the entire regular season, was one of the most clutch hitters in Major League Baseball statistically. So while he was bad in the postseason, I'm still taking my chance with that. Anthony Volpe, we've crushed him enough on this show. We know the sample size was large enough to know that this guy was not a productive player all season long. He had the hot start in the postseason. He historically is okay, but this was just another situation where Aaron Boone did not meet the moment in the playoffs, and it cost them.
Yeah, I mean, you go by the eye test. You knew Anthony Volpe wasn't coming through there because he was lost at the plate throughout the series.